Welcome back to the Tote Bag Sew Along. Hi, I'm Angela Wolf. In this lesson, we're going to sew together the entire lining, and I'm going to give you some ideas for all these great pockets. The pockets are almost finished. Because of those 2 rows of stitches, we've enclosed all the raw edges. The inside of the pocket looks as good as the outside of the pocket, and now we just need to decide. Moving on to the lining. If I just want to sew the lining, I can just take the fabric, fold it right sides together, just like we did the bag, stitch down each side, and then box the bottom, and then slide this right into the bag. But after I saw how cute the bag is, I thought, what about on the inside? This is quite a large bag. What if I want a little slot for my cell phone or my tablet, maybe a couple pens or my lipstick? So I've cut a couple of pockets, and yours can be any depth that you want. I have one piece of fabric here. It's the width of the bag, and this one is 24 inches long. Don't worry, my pocket's not going to be that big, but this is one part. And I'm going to fold the fabric in half. If I had some more faux leather, what I would do is attach that to the top. That would look kind of cool. But when I slip my hand inside the pocket, I want it to look as good as the outside of this. So I'm going to line this up with the bag. You want your pocket to be about, 2 to 3 inches below the top of the bag. So let's say right here. So this edge will be finished. This edge is not. All I have to do is tuck this under. I can finger press this in place. I'll probably go press this for good, just to make sure it's nice and secure. And if I run one row of top stitching along the folded edge and another row a little bit higher, I have finished the raw edges inside of my pocket. So this pocket is longer. This will be for my tablet, maybe something, letters, things like that. And then on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. This pocket I have cut 18 inches long because I'm going to fold it in half, and the width of this bag. Now because my fabric has letters on it, I want to just make sure that all my letters are lining up the same, that it looks pretty good. So on this end, I'm going to again go down about 1, 2, 3 inches, fold this under. I'm going to go press that in place, and then I'll stitch one row here and one row about an inch away. Then my raw edge will be enclosed, and I'll have pockets on both sides of my bag. So I've gone and pressed my pockets. So this is the folded edge. That's going to be my top edge because it'll be nice and finished on both sides. I'm going to go down about 1, 2, 3 inches from the top. And then this edge I've pressed under, and I'm going to line this up. I'm going to stitch right along the bottom edge. I'm going to stitch right along the edge of that fold, and then I will fold this fabric back and trim away any seam allowance, and then stitch a second row. Line up this folded edge, and I'm going to stitch just on the edge of that. Stitch this side of the pocket right along this edge here, and if I open this up, I have a pretty big raw edge here. I did that on purpose so you can see it. So I'm just going to trim that, being very careful not to cut the outside of my lining, but I'm just going to trim off that seam allowance or excess fabric, whatever you want to call it. And then I'll flip this pocket back forward, and I will run a second stitch right along here, and then that will enclose that raw edge. Do the same thing to the other side. Open this up, trim off the excess fabric. Fold this in place and stitch along there. I'm going to line my presser foot up about right on the edge of my previous stitch here. Move my needle over just a little bit to the right. So I'm enclosing that extra fabric inside there. Finished. Because of those 2 rows of stitches, we've enclosed all the raw edges. The inside of the pocket looks as good as the outside of the pocket, and now we just need to decide how wide we want our pockets. So I grabbed my cell phone. I'm just going to slide that in place because I know that's going to be going into one of these pockets. And it looks like you don't want to put it too tight to what you need. Give yourself a little room so you can slide your hand in with it. I'm going to say, why don't we make one pocket here to here. That'll be plenty of room for my phone. And I know I always carry a lot of pens, so why don't I leave another one here and I can stick a bunch of pens in here. And what about my keys? Well, the keys are always an issue, by the way. I'm going to put the keys to here, but on this one I might make this pocket just a little bit shorter so my keys will fit in and I don't have to reach my hand all the way in. So what I'm just going to use this ruler here and draw myself a couple of lines to follow. This is a fabric pen that will erase through time. It's air erasable. Just like that. And why don't we mark this one and this last one. This will be for the keys. So this one I want to make just a little bit shorter. I've got a lot going on my keys, so I'll go to about right here. And if my cell phone, you notice that my cell phone, when it went in here, it went down quite a ways. That's fine, but you know, I think I'd like to make that one just a little bit shorter as well. Here. Wait, what about my glasses? Those would fit in here just perfectly, but that's a little too tight. So I'm actually not going to sew anything along here. I'll just leave this where it goes right to the side seam and my glasses will fit in there fine. I have my tablet, which I know will fit in here. I'm going to plan on that going right in the center. So to give myself plenty of room to reach in, let's go from here to here. And that'll be fine. That's all I need there. And then these other 2 little pockets will be plenty of room for pens or something. I think for these areas I'm going to use a decorative stitch. It'll make it a little sturdier for my hand going in and out, and it'll look good along this fabric. I'm going to go with this stitch. Almost looks like an heirloom stitch. I think that would look really cute on there. This one would look great too. Actually, I'll go with this one, number 28. I look here, I need to change this to 28. And in order to access these stitches down here, I need to go to the top. I slide this over and push a little bit further where I get to the SS. SS, stitch number 28. The easiest way to sew a straight line with a decorative stitch is to line that purple line that I drew right with the center of the foot. There's a little notch there that I can follow. I used a different color in the bobbin so you could see what the stitch really looks like. Center just like we did on the bag. And I'm going to mark down 2.5 inches. Reach my hand in and I can line up this seam here with the purple line. Looks good. And the lining is finished. In the next lesson, our last step will be adding the faux leather trim. Again, I'm Angela Wolf. For more sewing tips and tutorials, be sure to visit brothersews.com and angelawolf.com. Until next time, share photos. I would love to see how your bags are coming along.